Hello, friends. It is almost my favorite month, which I can't believe. It's almost October. October is just like the best month for like all things vibes. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm horribly sick. My husband and I both have COVID, but it's fine. That's not going to stop me from sharing my October TBR and also like the perfect time to just binge read a bunch of stuff. So I'm really excited about this stack. These are physical books that I've had on my shelf for a while that I've been saving for the month of October because I just feel like the vibes are pretty vibin' for the month. So I have a total of 7 books, which normally isn't super ambitious as a reader. I've definitely had months. I think in June I read like 12 or 14 books. That was like the best reading month ever. I had nothing but spare time. But anyway, this isn't normally ambitious, but I do have this chunky one down here, which we'll get to later. For now, let's get into my October TBR. First up, I have Circe by Madeline Miller. I've heard just numerous things about this book for so long. I purchased it like months ago, literal months ago, and I don't know why exactly I've been saving it for October, other than that like it just gives October vibe, purely probably because it's orange, but it just kind of gives the cozy vibes that I'm looking for. So this is a story of Greek mythology, and as a Percy Jackson kid, that's something that I'm really excited to read about. And again, I feel like this is one of those books that is just like going down in history as like a modern day literature masterpiece. Has, you know, the probability to be like a classic in the future. So I'm really excited to read this and see what all the hype is about. I'm also nervous to read it because I don't want to be let down, but we shall see. Next, I have Once Upon a Broken Heart. Now, this is the first book in a trilogy, so if I really love it, there's nothing stopping me from getting the second or the third book. So this TBR might be 2 more books long. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to get this one. This is another one I've had for months on my shelf that I'm just dying to read. It has the potential to be one of my favorite books, but again, it's something I'm nervous about. When books are really hyped, I get really excited, and then I kind of put off reading them because I don't want to be disappointed. Like, everybody and their mother was talking about Powerless and Reckless, and I hated those books so much. I really did. So, and you know, just by description, they should have been everything that I loved, but I just thought they were very poorly written. So I'm a little bit nervous about this. Nothing but good things about the main couple in this book. I love me a good romantasy, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Plus, I feel like fantasy is just kind of like a fall vibe. I read fantasy all year round, like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it does have heavy fall vibes, which I'm looking forward to. Next, I have the infamous Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and I picked up the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Listen, I'm just like every other book girly out there, okay? I love Gilmore Girls, I love Taylor Swift, I love pumpkin spice, I love cozy fall vibes. I'm not original in any sense. So if this can give me the vibes of Gilmore Girls or a cozy fall season, I am so here for it. Plus, like, it's been described as Gilmore Girls-esque. And I mean, the author's name is Lori Gilmore, like Lorelai Gilmore. Nobody's made that connection yet, or at least nobody has said it out loud, but that's all I can think about when I hear about it. So this is one of those, like, not a series, but I think take place in the same universe. Plus, I don't think it's a coincidence that the love interest in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe's name is Logan. What is the one in this one? Noah. Okay, that didn't happen. But Logan was a boyfriend in Gilmore Girls, so coincidence? I think not. This author knows exactly who she's playing into, and it's me. And I'm 100% here for it. So I'm very excited to just read like a silly, goofy, lighthearted fall romance. If you know me, listen, okay. I love good literature, okay? I love good films. I took a film class. I would consider myself a little bit of like a film snob. But when the holiday season rolls around, when the cozy season rolls around, I have the Hallmark Channel on 24/7. Those movies are goofy, predictable, cringy, but I love them. I eat them up so often. I know it's the same story every time, but there's comfort in predictability. And I just love watching two people fall in love, whether it's the fall season or the Christmas season. So I'm fully expecting these to give like cozy fall, Gilmore Girls, Hallmark vibes. That's what I'm going for. And something to kind of like break up a little bit of like the more heavy like world building mythology kind of stuff. And this isn't necessarily the order I'm going to read it in, but I will be reading these two back to back. Then I have Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. Now this was in the horror section, and I wouldn't necessarily call myself like a horror fan. Like I can, like some things, like I guess A Quiet Place, the movie, is considered horror, but I wouldn't really consider that horror because I'm not horrified. It's a little bit thrilling. It's a little bit spooky, like on edge, but it's not like horror, right? Like I don't do body horror. I don't do like exorcisms. I don't do brutal horror, I guess. But this was in the horror section. It doesn't sound like a horror, but I'm really excited to read it. And anyway, like the absolute fall October vibes are immaculate. It's a werewolf novel. This is about a woman who she is in a car accident. She swerves to like miss a wolf or a dog, and then she changes into a werewolf. And that sounds goofy, but I'm here for it. I have no doubt that it'll probably be more serious. I can't tell if it's more comedy or more serious, but it says, you know, the quotes on the back are wonderful, witty, and wild, irresistible. So I'm really excited to read it. Then we have The Mother Thing. I'm obsessed with this cover. Is this cover not the most beautiful thing? This is about a woman and her husband who move in with her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law dies and then haunts her. What's not to love? I'm really excited. I don't know, it's gonna be really good. Unexpectedly charming, masterfully crafted horror novel. The dark domestic drama packs a punch. I don't know. I've never read a book that has been too scary, so I don't know. Do these have the potential to be? They don't look it, but you never know. You never know. And lastly, I have this big boy, okay? And I plan to do a reading vlog of this one, which I'm very excited about. It is none other than Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This is Twilight from Edward's perspective. I love Twilight. I don't know if it's ironic or not at this point. I watch Twilight. Like, Twilight is my comfort, okay? I will literally watch that movie weekly or just have it on in the background. Like, I just need, it's just, those are my comfort pale people, you know? Like, any situation, I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm angry, I'm in love. Well, I'm married, so I'm always in love. But, like, there's just no occasion that's not for Twilight. I'm really excited to read this. I plan to vlog it, so in that case, it might get pushed to November. It depends. Like, it is 820 pages long, which is like 300 pages longer than Twilight ever was. And I'm assuming it's because Mr. Edward Cullen doesn't sleep and he's got a lot of thoughts and a lot of yapping. I'm very excited and intrigued. This came out years ago, and I really remember, like, I think this came out the year I got engaged, and I remember we had stopped at the mall while I was wedding dress shopping, and I saw this and I was like, how mad would my husband be if I came home with Midnight Sun and not a wedding dress? And so I didn't buy it then. I bought it discount now, and I'm really excited to dive back into the world of written Twilight, because I read those books when I was like a preteen, like literally 13 years old. Which, whoa, I'm 27. That was more than 10 years ago, which is crazy. The passage of time really unsettles me. But I read the series a very long time ago, and I haven't revisited reading them. I own all of the books, but I haven't reread any of them. So I'm excited to kind of see a new take on Twilight. I think it should be really fun. I'm not sure why it's a pomegranate on the front and whatever, but I'm very excited. And, you know, Netflix announced that they're making this into an animated series, so I will have to, well, obviously, I will watch that when it comes out. Thank goodness it's not going to be a live action, because they can't outdo the best series of all time. I'm just being quite honest. But that is my October TBR. Stay tuned to see if any and all of it actually happens. You should follow me on Instagram and TikTok so I can keep you posted. I post reviews as I go. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really good month. I should theoretically have lots of time. You know, it gets dark a lot sooner. The vibes are immaculate. I really do think I'm going to leave this for like the end of the month. So if I get through everything else, I'll start this and then it might bleed into November. But anyway, I'm gonna challenge myself. October starts tomorrow from when I upload this, so that's very exciting. But I hope you guys liked this video. Maybe I gave you some inspiration for your October TBR, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.